Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Dundee Soul podcast. And before we start anything, I need to say thank you to our guest Sean for coming back and doing this, because we had a slight technical issue last week, which meant we lost the whole podcast. So yeah, I forgot the intro that was said last week, but I want to just say as, yeah, this is a great conversation about the subculture of the Dundee, we'll call it the casual scene?
Yeah, lad scene.
Lad scene, yeah. We'll call it like that. It was good. It's the subculture. Sean was a very active member of that. Big Dundee fan. He's also got a miniature donkey farm. Is that correct?
Correct. Which we'll get into in a wee while.
Which we'll get into. So yeah, thanks for doing this again, Sean, because...
No problem. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about your trainers, we're going to talk about what you've seen, and we're going to talk about all the good times in the 80s, 90s, and some Dundee football clubs. So yeah, how are you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, enjoyed myself last week and glad to be back.
Yeah, well, we're going to do a better one this time.
Cool.
So what about you, Steve? How are you doing this week?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing absolutely fine.
We'll start it.
After Sunday, yes.
So let's take it right back, Sean. When were you born, mate?
Cool. I was born in 1972 in a town called Aldershot down in England. Left there after a year, moved across to Germany for 7 years.
Do you remember anything about Germany?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, lived on army barracks. We got bused to school. Our school was in the British Army camp, which was next door to the German Army camp, and helicopters.
What German town was this?
Nienburg.
Which would be near what major?
Hanover.
Hanover. Okay.
Yeah. So was brought up with that army life, with my dad being in the Royal Engineers, and once he came out, came back to Scotland. They're all from Dundee. The whole family's Dundee.
How old were you at that point?
Well, 7 years. I was about 8 years old. Came here. Came to England. We lived in 3 places in York, Ripon, Driffield, and lastly Strensall, North Yorkshire, which was just outside York. Then came up here in 1984.
So what was your impression of Dundee? What age were you when you came in? In 84, sorry.
12.
So what was your impression of Dundee when you landed?
We came here on holidays. We used to come up every year on holidays when we were in England, not obviously when we were in Germany. So I knew about the place. My auntie lived on the Perth Road, so we used to visit the Perth Road a lot. So that's all really I knew in the Cinderans. And I used to go to Dundee and Dundee United at New Year. It was always roughly the derby at New Year. So we took in a couple of games, got into the football, thought, right, okay. Didn't support either side at the time. Family are Dundee United fans, so I wanted to be different. So
what drew you to be a Dundee fan then?
What drew me? My first day at the school, Morgan Academy. To kind of blend in, my brother told me to wear these sweatbands, Dundee United sweatbands, to blend in everybody, and I was like, okay. Put them on, sat down, and my best friend at the school then, and
Must have said to you, what the hell are you, wee fanny?
No, something on the lines of get them off. John McCallum, my best buddy, says get them off. Dundee are the greatest football team, blah blah blah, and never looked back ever since.
What was it like 84 at the school at that time? Like, what was the music and the
1984.
Well, you're going through the just went through the two-tone phase, so you've got madness and everything still very much in the memory at that point. Selector,
people always tell me
stuff.
like the transition would be like for sort of mods, like going into casual around about that time. Like, so were you seeing like a lot of people dressing like mods?
They were still going about the mods were still going about. There was a resurgence of the mods, and they're going to be on the bikes and stuff. Yeah. It was, and a lot of them were for Carnoustie and Arbroath and stuff like that.
I remember hanging about the Hilltown. There was a few guys from the Hilltown that were mods at the time with their Vespas going about and their big green Parkers. And you just used to think, who are they? What are they? What does it stand for at that time? Because you're so young. Then obviously hanging about the Hilltown. We had our own group, our own gang, that type of thing. Didn't get up to too much.
Were you into two-toning that yourself? Were you into listening to some of that stuff, Madness and stuff as well?
Madness was the Madness, Bad Manners were the groups to listen to.
Yeah.
Not that you were into them, but yeah, you listen to them.
They'd kind of just about come and gone by 84, but they were still sort of hanging about there.
Yeah.
And that mod resurgence as well. So, and it was all the electro was all coming in. And
we touched on breakdance before, so
yeah,
breakdance
definitely,
music was coming in. So you kind of listen to what was out in the charts. Your only mechanism.
When you're 12-year-old, your head's like a sponge, is it? You just take in all that sort of what you're seeing. Like, especially you mentioned you seen like the sort of mods kicking about. You're wondering what that is.
There's still a lot of punks going about at that point as well. They're still going about boys and weekends and stuff.
That started later 70s.
Mid 70s to start the 80s.
So that Dundee's always like what 2-3 years behind England. So
to be fair, Dundee was very much a forefront of the punk scene. There's always been a really good punk scene.
I've seen photos of it. I've seen photos of it before, because you know what, funny enough, the boys was wearing Adidas trainers. It was like a photo of the telly. But no, it's sidetracked. So John McCallum, he tells me to be a Dundee fan.
Yeah, be a Dundee fan. Used to walk home from school. We lived near each other on the hill town, and used to teach me all the songs, how we're the greatest football team ever. But for the next 10 years, United were in Europe every season, and I kept on asking him.
This is the year after United won the league, is it?
Yeah. So obviously United had a good run. They had a good run in Europe practically every season. And kept on asking him.
I wasn't alive for that.
To be fair, it didn't affect me at all. You're maybe the same. My old man, he went through the sort of that period from the sort of 60s through the 70s, but he would go, if Dundee were playing away, he would go to Tannadice, but Dundee were always his team.
I was the same when we got into the football scene. I didn't care who if it was United at home, I'd go into Tannadice, or if we took a mob away to a United game, then I would go. Didn't bother me at the time, but deep down, obviously, I was supporting Dundee.
Yeah, well, my old man used to take me across as well, and I saw a lot of really good European teams at Tannadice as well. But it still didn't make me want to go and support them. You know, they weren't my team. Dundee were always my team. So
done it myself when I first started working. United were playing Brøndby. I'm sure they played Brøndby. They played Glentoran at Tannadice. Games like that.
Roma.
And I was just going up, either by myself after my work, going up and thinking, right, I'll go and watch the game. You know, it was a game of football.
Man United. I never went to the Man United game.
No, it wasn't that.
But so it's just I think it's a shame now. Football's so expensive. You're not really going to get. You would go. I mean, if
you just one of your mates mentioned Roma, Man United. Like, if they're on your doorstep, you would go and see it. Of course, if you're a football fan.
But I mean, I was going to with the mates. A lot of my mates were United sports, so. You were able to afford to go to a game. You could go to a game midweek, two or three quid. Well, it started off in when we were going probably for 75 pence for kids up to maybe £150, and then adults were 3-4 quid. Yeah. So you were kind of able to afford it. You could go and do that, but I mean, you wouldn't even think about. Going and watch United Livingston paying £35 or £30.
I've got the Man United Dundee United programme. I'm sure it's 35 pence.
Yeah.
So I got that as a good, like, just.
Well, the programmes when I started going were 15 pence. The ones at Dundee, so you know, like, so you're so it is, So it's kind of going that way.
What would you say, like, your first impression of the terraces were at this point?
Just as I say, being as a fan, we used to go. We had a reserve team at that time.
Yeah.
Used to go to a few reserve games because you got in for nothing basically, and you used to sit in the stand.
You're absolutely right. And they got good crowds at the reserve.
Got good games. You got in for nothing. You thought, right, this is good. Then my first game, I remember, it was St Mirren, either Tuesday or Wednesday night at Dens. John says, "Come on, let's go up in the back of the dairy," and it was just like mobbed with lads, just absolutely there. Fans as well as lads, obviously, and it was just a great atmosphere. And I thought, oh yeah, this is good. Then you followed the mob, see where they went, blah blah blah. Then took it from there and just got the buzz of it. It was the only thing to do. I'm not saying that we had nothing to do back in the days, but yeah.
You get to leave the house to do stuff,
yeah.
It's like what they're trying to say with the ultra scene now. You know, like boys, because they're on phones so much and they've had to like they've obviously been like this for years. The ultra scene's giving them like a sense of belonging and something to do. You know what I mean? It's an actual event for them to leave the house. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've watched it. There's a 3-part documentary just came on.
Declan's watched it.
Yeah, I watched the first two. The guy Blair, Partick Thistle supporter that does the blogging. I speak to him quite a lot. I met him at Dens. He's a good lad. Partick Thistle?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't think. I would think you'd probably be Motherwell. Motherwell were the first sort of ones.
Remember the day that you took the photo actually when we came back. We were 2-0 down. We came back when 3-2. So when I tried to jump up,
you're in the pictures. I've
got that on my bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that stadium. Well, the three stands. You always had a good day there. Sorry, anyway, sidetracked. Yeah, but see the terraces back then. It always gets described to me in Dundee like the gang stood in certain areas.
We moved from the Derry and we went into the Provy Road end. We used to sit up in the top corner of the Provy Road end. When we had big numbers, you would sit with your guys, your mates that you hung about with at the weekends. Locky boys would come in, 10, 20, 40, 50 of them would all sit, and folk would you would sit with your mates. You all knew each other, but you would just sit with your crowd.
Were the gang jumpers on the go at this point?
Yes. Back to John McCallum again. John's mum used to make them. John's mum had a massive sewing machine in our house, and John's mum was making jumpers.
There was a shop that done it down beside the Wellgate, was it?
On the Victoria Road. You got
only like certain places that done it, but
and you got your Dundee United ones as well as your gun colours as well.
I remember
hats.
I remember going to John's house and his mum had the big machine, and it was like, oh, cool.
Always on making the jumpers.
Yeah.
What are they called again? The Steve Ellis jumpers, is that right?
I can't remember.
What was styled off at the gang jumpers?
I can't remember the name, what they were.
I mentioned this on a post years ago, and then Gary Robertson, obviously he's wrote the book and stuff. I got whatever I said wrong, and he put a thing that was like the Steve Ellis jumper. Found it quite interesting. But so like early 80s, would you see that on the terraces? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So when do you think the transition from that to some nice clobber came in?
Well, you went for the sort of punks and the Hilton Huns wearing Crombies and all that, and the gangs turning up, and then there was one famous game I remember going to. We're on about the split of the gangs on the terrace, and it was Loch United versus Benburb in the semi-final of the Junior Scottish Cup. And it was 13,000 at Dens, 1980, and there was fighting behind the goal, and it was nothing to do with Benburb, but it was Hilton Huns and I think it was Hilton Huns and the Lochie Fleet. Fighting behind the Provy Road end. I mean, actually having a right set to it. Right. And I was only a young laddie at the time. I just remember this battle going on behind the Provy Road. But this was at a junior semi-final.
Crazy.
So
well, they used to get held at Dens and Talent. The cup finals.
Crazy.
And the semis.
Yeah, amazing days.
So when did you think? When did Dundee and the United mobs sort of join up?
It wasn't a case of join up. It just happened.
Sort of merged.
Just happened. It was.
You might see in Aberdeen. Aberdeen turned up. They'd been doing the Liverpool match. 81, 82, whatever it was at that point.
I guess 80. They won the Cup Winners' Cup in 83. Liverpool won the Champions League, so that's how that game happened.
So they start turning up on the terrace and wearing their stuff, and then it's just. That slowly integrates. I think there's no any day zero when that happens. It's just you slowly see it happening, and haircuts and stuff.
There's original boys to mention: Ross Morrison, Puffin, Sawyer, Mark Todd, Tambo, Dykes. They were your original boys that kind of, as far as I'm aware, started off the scene. Yeah, maybe one or two others that I can't think of, and it's just started. Some United boys, some Dundee boys, and it's like we need to get mobs out here, like you say, after seeing a team like Aberdeen here. Then it's just kind of escalated from there. But it was never you join with us, we join with you. It was just a case of when I was brought into it, it was like if we've got Aberdeen at home, everybody will stay for that. Dundee might have been away to say Celtic. Well, what's the point in going there when you know Aberdeen are going to bring several hundred through and you're guaranteed a battle? And vice versa. If we had, say, I don't know, Partick Thistle at home and United were away at Hibs, would go to Hibs, because that's just what it was done on a Saturday. There was nothing else to do,
Yeah, no. At some point it got really I'll not say tactical, but going on speaking to other people, like Hibs, like you said, for instance, they would boast to getting up at 6:30 in the morning or the 6:30 train to get to Aberdeen or something. That was
No, I think the boast was getting on the 6:30 train to come through here to do us, then go back to Hibs. Okay.
I've seen a lot of stuff that. Or they'd be in Dundee, or a pub in Dundee for 10 in the morning or whatever.
Everybody's done it. We've done it. We used to go up to Aberdeen, Daisy's, Peeps, along the docks. We would get a train back at 9 in the morning, and you'd be there an hour and a half, Aberdeen on the train, and you'd be in the pubs by 11 o'clock or even just a wee bit earlier. How
many boys would be going up to Aberdeen at that time?
Again, a lot of United boys wouldn't go to Dundee games. A lot of Dundee boys wouldn't go to United games, but there was a lot of us that we didn't care. We were just there for one thing, and we would just go to whatever. whatever team it was. But yeah, it could be 30, 40, 50, 100, just depending. Aberdeen was our tastiest fixture, going up there with either Dundee or United, mainly Dundee. Crazy times 9, great times 30, 40, 50, because you were guaranteed something to happen with those kind of numbers.
It's no great numbers to go up to Aberdeen with, to be fair, because Aberdeen's it's a big support, is it?
Yeah,
big support.
But you got away with it sometimes, other times you didn't. You had bad results.
Yeah.
So just take the good with the bad.
Well, another note though, I was purely into the clothes. I didn't run the fighting, but I was purely into the clothes, and I got.
Well, just to say that the fighting's not what it's all about.
No, not at all.
It was that was then. This is now.
Yeah.
But it definitely influenced me, or totally influenced me. Boys like Fergie, stuff like Fergie for me.
Fergie middle one.
He definitely was a trendsetter with clothes. He was the first one that would put leather jackets instead of the sportswear, but or mix and match it. Yeah. And even like I said, even Deck Green used to wear different stuff.
Yeah.
He would change it up.
Yeah.
And you would see the change over the years. But yeah, definitely it was for me it was the clothes scene. The thing that I watched from afar or close, because there was things going on every game. There was stuff happening.
It's changed so much.
Yeah.
Cagoules, jeans, obviously different eras came in. The Manchester era came in 89, 90, so it was
the club scene, so
it was flares, naff, just different kind of stuff.
I remember naff. Yeah, that's when I was wee. Yeah. Like I like documenting all, like, because it is so hard to document what everybody was wearing.
Of course.
And I've heard so many different stories of what people were wearing at different times. But going in, what age are you in about? If you were 84, sorry, you're 12. Which means we were 16. What year was that about? 87, 88?
Let's do our calculation. Oh yeah, about that. Yeah.
So that's when the Summer of Love's just going to happen, is it? That's when like the ecto scenes.
No, I would say 89ish.
Yeah. 89 and 91. 89 and 91.
That's when everybody went missing. Yeah.
So So we used to have big numbers. Then obviously when that time came along, we lost a lot of boys. As in, all they wanted to do was go and dance and do their Fat Sams, do their raves, do all that kind of stuff. And the numbers were just absolutely, we got massively hit with the numbers dwindling down. Then I'm not saying it died, but yeah, that scene kind of paid to.
It's a famous game from 91. The famous game from 91 where it's totally documented on it is the 1991 Cup Winners' Cup final, Man United and Barcelona in Rotterdam. And that game is the game where they all go across the numbers and they're all loving one another. That's the famous game that everybody hears about them all going across and had a great time.
Pissed me off, end, losing a lot of these boys.
Did you ever go to a rave or anything? No.
Nah, it wasn't for me, Chris. By all means, a lot of people go. The Rumba still go now. Fantastic. They've kept it going. Well done to them. Absolutely brilliant. That's a scene they love. But no, a lot of us boys were just still into the football.
Because the place that was it? Boys were going to Arbroath. Was it the Sweatbox or something?
Yeah.
I heard of that. Yeah. And obviously the Ice Factory.
Ice Factory in Perth. Yeah.
Because it's been kicking off with like Perth, especially for years.
Guilty.
Very guilty. You've got a kick-off story in Perth. You got a kick-off story. Oh no, you were in the Ice Factory.
No, that started going.
Talking about a Steve fighting story. No. Close sticks out. Lost my train of thought there. So what did you do? What did you do in that 2 year then?
And when? Sorry.
I thought it was 8 to 8, but like 8.
Yeah, just again, it was a football. So people started getting jobs. Obviously because you're coming out of school. So I think I left school. Got my first job in '89 as a YTS.
Yeah, pay for the clothes somehow, do you?
Hi, yeah.
Well, talking of, right, well, what shops were you going to get the clothes at this point? Because when you're starting to make your own money, this is when your wardrobe gets serious.
There was barely nothing in Dundee.
Debenhams.
Debenhams, we had the sports locker in the Overgate Kev Downey.
Do you remember that there was a shop opened, and some of the casuals opened at their cell, and it was down at the Shell garage, down from the bus station, and they rented a wee room in there, and I can't remember the name of it. But that was the first time I saw the leather and suede with the ties on them and that, and they were selling them out of there. And I can't even remember who it was.
I've not heard of
Maybe somebody that's watching the podcast will remember the name of it, but it was.
We had
Davy
Lowe's. Then on Commercial Street and across from Davy Lowe's, we had Rob Jackson's doing the ski jacket stuff.
Rob Jackson was great for feeling Tashini.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to Dundee Runner? I heard that Dundee Runner done some nice shows.
Yeah, up in Lochie.
Nike Internationals.
The lights,
We talked honestly, we talked about stealing that sign for about years, and then somebody's just opened it as a photography place.
Oh, right, okay.
I wanted that sign because just the way he'd done it. Yeah. It was meant to be a legendary shop.
I know it was there. It was a good place, but also we touched on before how people used to get stuff out of their mum's clubby books.
Yeah.
Because again, it was a way to get stuff.
Yeah, with the 600s especially. That's what I've always the story of. Did you have a pair of 600s?
No. It was my first pairs were Nikes. I never really got into Adidas. Gazelle was the trainers that I got into the first ones, and that was probably 91ish during the school. Pair of Farahs, denim shirt, next hoodie, and a pair of Gazelles. And
did you ever go to Valentino's?
Valentino's in the ferry.
I never went to one in Perth. I went to one in the ferry.
A lot of my ferry pals.
I'm glad you said next, because we touched on that last time, like the next selection, and that was a good point. Was it not about jackets? Only used to do like...
they used to do like say half a dozen coats of a certain model, and it was just who got down there first.
I had the safari jumper, the blue one.
Yeah. So you remember the safari jumper?
I had it, yeah. Me and the other mate had the blue one. The other two mates had the red ones.
John McCallum had one, and Graham McCune, who was another good mate of ours for the whole town, he had the opposite colour. And it's just whoever got there first.
And when the Paisley Parton shirts came in for a wee while, it was only a matter of weeks. That's where you got them out of next as well.
They took the biscuit when they brought out the denims with the cartoons on the back.
Yes.
That was just...
Something I've heard about Hibs again was I think about 86 or 87 they were meant to be showing up wearing jeans with Disney characters on them.
Well, I think that's where the cartoon jackets came from. We used to go to that Lammas Fair in St Andrews. We used to take a mob through there and obviously have it with the other jacket. And they were all wearing like these cartoon Mickey Mouse stuff on the back of their jackets.
The other jacket with the print on the back was the Farushi, the cherubs.
Oh yeah.
Everybody had them.
That'd be about 91 or something, but no, 1991. That's when I think that was.
Farushi cherub, that was everybody had that.
When did the people start hanging about boots? Was that like early 80s, or was that just like
no? For me myself, mid to late 80s. Certain numbers stick in my head. 1987, Christmas #1, Pet Shop Boys, always on my mind. Chris Lowe, one of the trendiest guys going. So things like that, that's what's sticking in my mind for certain years, so I know what I was doing at that time of the year. So it's
like a song triggers like a memory.
Aye, music's in probably as you guys in my life every day. I need a bit of music every day.
It was different hanging about doing boots at that point, because you actually could drive up and down the road, right?
Yeah.
The phones. You know what, I think it looks so cool when you actually see the numbers that were hanging outside boots. There's like the phone boxes. And
we'd get good numbers. Just during the week you would get numbers. Then Friday nights, great numbers. You'd be talking, obviously no mobile phones at that point, and we'd be discussing what we're doing the next game. Then you'd need to make your mind up, right, what we're doing tomorrow. Then on the Saturday, place was mobbed.
On a Friday night, everybody would just like, the thing to do would be just to head the boots,
find out,
discuss.
And you just hung about. Always going into bother with locals, just going past.
A lot of different tribes going about at that time, heavy metalers and punks.
Just look, we used to hear a lot of fights at Foreigners with the moshers, as we called them at the time. Then folk would used to make their way along past the city centre, just guys out on a staff or a works night out, that type of thing, and just think, right, let's pick a fight. So there was always bother all the time. Every weekend.
That's what I remember. See, when I was younger, you couldn't get from it used to be London nightclub to Fatty's, and that is it South Day Street. You couldn't get along that street without kicking off with somebody. There was just so much life in the town at that point.
But on the other hand, it was good camaraderie. You had a lot of mates. It was not, like you said earlier, it's not all about the violence, about the clothes, because you're standing there on a Friday night and you're eyeing somebody up thinking,
exactly,
where did he get them?
Like when you mentioned with Fergie and stuff, boys that were trendsetters, this is where you would sort of see this stuff, is it?
Yeah, Fergie, just hitting on Fergie, one of the smartest, intelligent, coolest, smartest, respected, one of the top boys, as we would say back in the days. And he was always smart.
Yeah, definitely, he always had a different, he would change it up. If they started wearing something, he would change it up.
So that's where you got your ideas from. You'd stand and look somebody up and down and think, right, Puma Javilas, something like, thinking, all right, slip jeans, thinking, right, I could do that with my cords. Cords become a massive fashion. A lot of boys were
GB lesson cords, man.
Yeah.
That's a look.
One of the first boys I ever saw wearing Ceruti. He was in a Ceruti tracksuit. I eventually got one about 3 months later or something, you know. The same trackie.
It was the same for me. Like, I think we were the last generation that done that. Like, I seen everything that I learnt was basically from the streets. It was looking at people and I thought, oh God, he looks cool. What he's done different. And
But
just pre-internet.
But you see it with different teams. So whoever would come through or wherever you went to an away game, you would just see, oh, is that what they're wearing? Different teams went through different phases. In the 90s, when the Manchester scene was out, put my hand up, I had a pair of kicker boots and a pair of flares and a big red puffy naff jacket, you know, with a pair of...
So that scene got you then, yeah.
With my middle shade hair and whatever.
Joe Bloggs and Pepe jeans with the tag hanging off the back.
I think kickers are pretty timeless, to be fair. I really like kickers.
Yeah. They look good with the Grolsch bottle top in them.
Again, with cords, it's a cool look with cords.
Cords were a great look, great pair of trousers.
Naff is something that I remember in the playground. Like a clips was that like the cheaper version or something? It was sort of like.
Oh yeah, it was that stuff as well. Yeah.
I remember a Naff was like the big puffy one, and then clips had like the sort of.
Naff was a French company. Clips was probably made down in the backstreet in Manchester.
Well, this was what I was seeing at the playground. I remember thinking, what are they jackets? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
that'd be what 93 maybe.
So we went through a good few, changes through the likes of the football scene.
When did you start to notice like Stone Island?
Stone Island's a lot later.
Yeah, me myself really.
Well, the manifesto started. Well, they were selling it for about 89, I think. Wilson said. If you ask my mate Wilson, he'll always say that Perth were the best dressed mob in Scotland.
Perth's only good for one thing: driving past. As far as I'm concerned.
But there's the. Did you know the video? Right, the CP jacket. Right, obviously was released in 1988. Right, and it was released in Italy and whatever else. There's a video, I'm sure it's either Chelsea or Spurs, there's a guy with a ponytail and the pub's getting attacked. He's wearing the Millie jacket and he whips out, I can't remember what it is.
Yes.
You know the video?
Outside, yeah.
Apparently it goes down that was the biggest promotion for CP ever had, because as soon as everybody seen that video they wanted the jacket.
You know what I remember for Stone Island and CP was Bonneville. And it's the same company.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I remember because I was a Bonneville.
The Navy Arctic stuff at Bonneville was honestly, I'd love a Navy Arctic jacket.
Well, I bought a colour changing sort of PVC thing out of Valentino's, brown, and it changed colours, and I wish I'd kept it. It was, and that must have been about 91.
Bonneville's not as spoke about as like the other ones. Nearly like Left Hand and that. You had another brand, World Wide Web. You had to have a good few brands. But yeah, Bonneville jackets are really cool. Sort of forgot what we're talking about there. Too many brands.
Too many brands.
We're getting to like 90.
Yeah, so up to the 90s, as I say, Manchester scene took over. Absolutely incredible times. Acid, ecstasy times. The rave scene.
Joe Bloggs,
baggy jeans, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we still went to the football. They did what they did. And then before you knew it, you were heading mid-90s, kind of started slowing down on the football scene. People were getting into their jobs, you know, like getting full-time jobs, getting relationships with folk. But never leaves you. The fashion never leaves you.
Still didn't stop going to football, though.
Still doesn't stop going to the football, no. It's still there in the background. Yeah, it had a wee revival again, late 90s, early 2000s. Then the violence dies away again, then it picks up again, you know, but hey.
When was the first time you picked up a camera?
First time I picked up a camera, I used to take a camera a few away games. One time sticks out early, I think it was 91. One of my family members, a cousin, hired a minibus, went away down to Nottingham Forest, v West Ham down at Nottingham Forest, and I just slipped a wee camera in my pocket thinking, this is going to be chaos. 15 of us lads in the back of a D-Reg Bedford Transit. They left from my work at the time. I was working at the Angus Hotel at the time, and we left from there, drove down to Newcastle. Bendy, Keith Byrne, living in Newcastle. We stayed at his flat, 15 lads, just totally out of it, blutered. Went out at night, obviously going to bother.
15 boys in one flat, that'd be chaos.
Incredible. Maxey, John McCallum, Johnny Montiel, Tony Riley, but to name a few. Stevie McDonnell, who's no longer with us. Great time. So took the camera, went out that night, gone to bother, got some photos, went to the West Ham game, v Nottingham Forest the next day. And yeah,
is this Brian Clough's Nottingham Forest? Was he still the manager at this time?
I don't know who was manager in '91, but it was at the Forest ground.
No, he would have been.
Would he?
Yeah,
91.
Steve's always good for a wee bit of football.
Yeah. So just started taking the camera just here and there, little things, little snippets. Then it wasn't until I got my first professional camera. My wife bought her first horse when we moved to Teeling, and started taking photos of the horse. Started going to horse shows, thinking, I could do this. Then I got into junior football with Lochie United, and a very good friend, Larry Duncan. Started taking the photos at Lochie United, and it just kind of took off from there.
As you said, it's a passion. It's a passion that you've took that's turned into like a job now.
Yeah. I love it. If I could do it every day, I would.
I'm just going to sidetrack you for one moment because you mentioned something that I really want to ask you about before we talk about more photography, which is the Angus Hotel.
The Angus Hotel.
Because you worked in the Angus Hotel.
Angus Hotel. Yeah. So I worked in the Angus Hotel. Got there 1989 as a YTS. Probably 6 months, not even 6 months. YTS got took on full time, and honestly, I could say it was the best 4.5 years of my life.
So were you there when Dundee had their centenary there?
I was, because I got a little glass. I remember the little glasses were put on everybody's table. Well, somebody never got one. And I've still got it now.
Because that's where I got all my shirts autographed.
I've still got it now.
That night.
I worked to that, so I was a porter there.
So the 62 team?
Yeah.
Is that the night you got all these tops?
Yes. The only person that wasn't there was Shankly, obviously, because he died before then, but every one of them was there, and I was going round and getting these autographs.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I worked that night, yeah.
Any like stand-up nights for like, because all the bands never used to stay
there.
Yeah,
we met a lot of bands. Jerry and his Pacemakers, Sunita, Sonia. I've met Maria Whittaker, the former page. Well, he's maybe too young for Maria Whittaker.
I remember when she was in Dundee.
Page 3. Lots of bands. Stock Aitken and Waterman brought the bands there when they were going to the Hitman Road show. There was a place, was it Brecon?
It was Flicks.
Was it Flicks? Yeah. Things like that. Other bands that I just can't even think of off the top of my head. Met the Lisbon Lions. Some Celtic association had a big night. Met a lot of them. Got some signatures. I've probably still got it. Most famous person to date, Carol Decker to Pau. Had a great catch up with Carol Decker. Lot of autographs. Absolutely brilliant time in the city centre. Working there. Nip out there. Buzz along for the football. Any trouble, then just back into.
It wasn't a far for bits and whatever. It
wasn't far. 2 minutes. But yeah, really good times. The Angus, really good times for.
I can vaguely remember it from when I was wee, like you know, like you used to drive up the road and stuff. But obviously, I didn't know what the building was, and when I found out the history of it, you had like the Beatles stayed there, Led Zeppelin stayed there,
but
Queen stayed there.
Before my time, there, still some colleagues I'm in touch with now. Yeah, they'll remember that kind of thing. But the ones out, Magnus Magnuson, the mastermind guy, mind him. Elaine Page, she checked in, checked out within 5 minutes. She didn't like the dual carriageway noise because her window was open. No, I'm not having this.
I'm not hearing that he's on about Queen staying at that hotel. Surely Freddie Mercury would have stayed at the Queen's Hotel, surely.
No.
There was a big massive autograph book, and every single obviously famous person that used to stay there, they would all sign the book. So
it's a shame that a building like that's gone, you know what I mean? That is a shame.
It's incredible.
But to go back to the photography, right?
Yeah.
So I know how this bit of the story goes. You were doing it at Lochie United. And somebody we've spoke to before, Craig Robertson. Yeah. He's part of the story as well, is he?
Yes. So I was away from Lochie United. I was at Broughty. Still connected at Lochie United. Still popped up and done the odd game here and there when Larry would ask. Then all of a sudden, our very good friend Craig Robertson was signing for Dundee, and that was my chance. On the phone to Larry, could you get me in at Dens at Dundee? So 3 games I think it was. He signed for 3 games. His second game was the home game against Morton. I'm sure it was 1-1. I think it was 1-1. And there I'm standing at the side of the pitch, totally oblivious, meant to be sitting down in a seat. I'm just standing 6 metres away for the goal, just following Craig wherever he went, just taking his photos.
And, do you remember that night, like more than like obviously when you do something for so long, you know what I mean? It just sort of blends in.
Yeah, it stands out. I'll not forget it. I'm not saying forever grateful to Craig, but I'm just so glad that guy got the move to Dundee. He so deserved it. Craig was probably the best junior footballer, certainly in Dundee, and probably no far in Scotland at that time when he was in the junior scene. Craig was incredible.
Well, a lot of people go on about how good he was. Yeah,
yeah.
His brothers told me how good he was a good few times.
Oh yeah, when he's sober. I've said to you loads of times that you've never done a bad photo for me. I've always good photos, but there must be.
Do you use Photoshop?
there must be a favourite game of all time.
Sunday past.
Sunday past, yeah.
No, I got asked by somebody at my work to produce, I don't know, my top 50, top 40 photographs, and at that time, only just a few years ago, and by God, that was hard. That was hard, because you're searching, saying that one. But some football ones made it. But I love nature. I like getting out, doing my animals, obviously. We'll touch on that. But yeah, I could sit out in the garden for 2-3 hours just waiting on.
I've seen some of the ones you do, your feathered friends that are sitting in there. They look amazing.
Yeah, I could just sit out for 2-3 hours. It's peaceful. It's relaxing, and just sit there with the camera. In 3 hours, you'll get one picture. But it might be that picture.
It's a proper art. Not that I've got any experience whatsoever, but with trying to do social media before I had like that kind of stuff, you had to try and get a photo in. You know the importance of how like a good photo could do you.
And that means you know how important that Declan is.
Well, for instance, Luke Davies was a guy who worked next door, and he was a professional photographer as well. And just like to see what he could capture just with nothing was incredible. That opened it up to like. You've got to really have an eye and you know what I mean, catch stuff at the exact moment.
For football, you've got to envisage the ball's flying in the air. You're not following the ball. You're looking at where that ball's going to land, and those two players running towards each other.
Yeah.
So we're watching that.
And making sure Davy Young's knowing your way.
Make sure Davy's knowing my way. Davy's a good lad. Davy's taught me a lot. So yeah, courtesy of Craig here I'm at Dundee.
So you done his 3 games?
Yeah, no, I done Craig's home game because again the away games. I think we were at Raith Rovers, one of them, wasn't it?
Raith was the first one. Morton was the second one, and Dunfermline at home as well.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I done the 2 then.
You would be doing it for free at this time because the club was in dire peril.
Aye, yeah. I think that was coming at the end of the administration, wasn't it? Yeah. So after that season had finished, then I just thought I want to do this. So. Contacted Larry, put me in touch with somebody at the club, Jim Thompson, who's there still now, stadium manager. Had an interview with Jim, and 15 years later, it was 15 years last month.
It's no cheap game either with your equipment, is it? Not cheap at all.
No, it's not. It's very expensive.
Especially when like Derek ended up getting Derek ended up losing the whole lot at the back of the car.
At the back of his car, it was a higher car. He left it in the back.
He ended up selling memorabilia to try and get money back to get his car.
I remember that's when I was getting to know Derek.
Yeah.
But yeah, 15 years later, I'm at Dundee doing my dream job.
I'll touch on some of your favourite moments doing it, but like we'll have to look at what you've done because you like we've said you brought the fans closer.
Yes.
Sorry.
No. I was seeing that obviously the fans were distant from the club, and you know how the club always likes to distance itself sometimes from fans, supporters, things like that. But when I was sitting at Dens, I was just thinking, wait a minute, there needs to be this, stop this brick wall, stop this atmosphere.
We've discussed this before, and this is not what you've done with the fans every week. Guys will go on that Facebook and they're looking for their picture, and this is a thing that's went on for years. You're looking at the start of filming matches. The cinema owners would be the ones that would take the early cine cameras, go up, make sure they film the support, and who would go to the pictures on the Wednesday to watch themselves. Yeah. And it was a gimmick, but it's moved on. But you know yourself, people are wanting you to take the photos at the game, and you get some really embarrassing ones, but you get some really good ones, and people want to see that.
Yeah, it's not all about the actual, like you say, the players or any tackles. It's about the fans, and if it's not for us fans, then there would probably be no football.
I've seen on my travels on social media that there's I won't say an influencer, but there's a very popular girl who quotes my football photos are from Sean Donaldson.
All right, is that? Right. But
people like your photos. You know what I mean.
But again, it's to bring the fans closer to the club. They feel more welcome with the club. So I spoke to the club, the media team at the time, and I just said, look, I'm going to do a lot of do fan ones, and before you know it, the programmes for the last good few years now, they're dedicating a page to the supporters for their photos. And same with the mascot. We've now got young Ryan. Ryan does Snappy Day because the young kids are wanting to see their picture at the following home game. Oh, is my picture in that programme? And you've hit on it before that folk are going out their way to see if the
thing is, though, the ones with the mascots, I mean, there's maybe 150 pictures and they're all cracking photos, and each people
try several hundred pictures.
Yeah, exactly. I know, that's what I mean. But I mean, what you end up putting on, what interests me is, you didn't put the action shots up first. It's the fans first.
Well, that's what people want to see. They want to see if they can see themselves. You know what I mean?
So after a game,
that idea is probably like you've got the biggest Dundee Facebook group.
Yes, Friends of Dundee, 7.5, just short of 7,500 followers.
And a big reason, well, maybe not all the reasons, but a big reason behind that would be when people want to see like their picture to see what they look like at the game or what photo they've got.
But the kids and the fans are the future. Even if they're older, younger fans, they're the future. So we've got to keep them entertained. We've got to keep them involved with the club.
Good starting point, because it's been a big discussion this week. What are your feelings on the young ultras?
Yes, great atmosphere. Good luck to them. The silliness that has been happening at some games, some away games, cut it out. But no, good luck to them. Absolutely good luck to them. They create a great atmosphere, great noise. We need it. If we're getting beat, drum up the noise.
We've been kind of lucky because they have been really good. And then when they're not there, you do notice it now.
There's a couple of games recently.
The good thing, the Dundee Otters, we'll have had the problem with the pyro, and we had the thing at St Johnstone, the wee lad got hit in the face. But we've kind of our Otters have kind of went down that road, and we've been kind of lucky that way, because it is that documentary that's been on this week that started. It's talking
I think this is a reason why it's a big talking point. Obviously, what kicked off at Derby has been a talking point, and then this documentary came out. But you've got to look at it as a new subculture. We've just spoke about a 40-year-old subculture that still goes today. It's like it's a new thing.
The good thing, look, let's be quite honest with it. When Rangers come that match and that whole end was ablaze, it looked absolutely amazing. But what you got to remember is, it's got to be done. If they're going to do it, it's got to be done with. It's got to be safe, because they're like blowing like a blowtorch. And it's going to burn really. Going to hurt you badly.
All that stuff is true, but like you got to look at it. If you're going to use the Union Bears as reference, like they're adults, man. The laddies standing in the derry are like wee boys.
But the thing is, though, even though those wee boys do make an amazing atmosphere.
That's what I mean. Great.
Absolutely.
That's what I mean. And like having a go at them and stuff is
it's not at all.
The atmosphere would be lost without them. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've picked it up, and they've been on the go. What a good handful of years now.
And I don't think our ones are much of a problem.
No.
There has been a few wee daft incidents, but there's been
other. I've been looking at that. Like, our ones are obviously just like young wee laddies. Like you said, I don't think anything wrong with it. Hats off to them. Good luck. They bring all the atmosphere and stuff. For my just like understanding of it, they're just not as backed as like other clubs. United, for instance, because I have had speaking with that team before, their Tifo team.
Well, but on the other side of it, they're causing bother in the street. Our ones are causing bother in the street, and there's pictures of them on Sunday smashing up the seats and ends, United ends. I don't see the Dundeeans doing that at Tannadice, so they've got to get that out of them. They've got to get that out of their heads.
It just reflects bad on the club. The club need to pay the finances for it.
Because are they daft balaclava Danes are running about the boycott?
This is the problem, right? This is the problem, because they're going to look at the bigger factions in Scotland, which is obviously the Green Brigade and the Union Bears. That's what they're going to see. So that's going to be the influence. So when you were younger, like if you seen something like you wanted to top it or whatever else, I don't like. It's not all about that. This is the thing that's different about their culture they're starting. They're putting like their own money, their own effort into like flags, like banners, like everything else. Like,
but they've got to keep. But the thing is, what I'm saying, they've got to keep their energy.
But they're sticking they're sticking so much more time and effort into the club for like just for instance making your banners or whatever they do. I don't know that I've never really had an interest in it, but it's like a proper like invested interest in the club.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, that's what I'm saying to you. But they've got the ones that are running about on Sunday trying to cause bother. Get that out of your head and get back onto supporting your own club. Get back to supporting your own club and get back to marking your own banners.
To be honest with you, I just think they're too young. When they understand trying doing away there,
exactly.
They're going to find out that they need each other.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
So they'll go get across it. I mean, I think it's an interesting conversation.
Especially
you've photoed them every week.
I take pictures of them. So yeah, no, absolutely good luck to them. They create a great atmosphere. But like you say, just not the little silly stuff. But we've all been involved in silly stuff through our time. But we're in that generation now that you're seen from every corner of the street, the building, the city, that type of thing. So yeah,
CCTV kills a lot of fun.
Killed a lot of the stuff back in the days as well.
It's totally like do they want to film everything nowadays?
That's what everybody does. So I get it with my work as well at the university. People just pull out their phones, even if you're having a general discussion with somebody or you're getting on at a student or something. First thing they do, just pull the phone out, and you're like, or even school kids, telling school kids to stop doing something. First thing they do is pull the phone out. You see it at football matches too. Like people always like if there's a free kick or a corner, they're trying to film it to see if they get a goal or something. It's just like you're missing the game, man. The phone's taking over.
Right, so we've got a sidetrack there. So the Defiant season, you built this Facebook group. It's obviously
it was built well before it was run. I've been running it probably for the last several years. A guy, Stuart Ramsey, he started off obviously quite a while ago, and it's built up. But I've been running it probably with him or kind of more the last good few years now. So we're up to some just short of 7,500.
We've got a strong relationship, like a massively strong relationship with the club, the players, like everybody.
Yep, see the players. Obviously, I'm in the changing room with the mascots. Great relationship with the players. The players Saturday night after a victory, they're all on their texts in saying, "Sean, can I get my pictures?" So my wife knows Saturday nights are just.
So everybody's at you for the pictures on Saturday.
You would not believe. 1-2 o'clock Sunday morning. That'll be me finished. After an away game or even a home game, and then into Sunday, you could be out Sunday afternoon. Phone goes and you're looking and it's somebody. Can I get my photos? Because obviously they've got their social media. You know what I mean? They're all wanting their photos out there.
It's funny. If I take my ex's young lad to the game, as soon as he gets home, he messages to say that there's photos up. You know what I mean? So
well, the fans are first. Away games, it's my priority. The fans are first. The club can put up. If we win a game, we've got set times when the media team puts stuff up. So if it's an away game, we'll put up a couple of things. Then Sunday morning, if we've won on the Saturday, they'll put something out at 9 o'clock in the morning or lunchtime. There's set timings that the club puts stuff out. So the fans have got to get up first because they're travelling home on the bus. If it's been a great victory, good celebrations, all look there at them whilst they're drinking a bottle of beer on the bus. You know, it just gives them a good feeling because again, that's what it's about. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been.
It's all about the fans.
It's about the fans, definitely. So I feel personally, I've brought them a lot closer together. And you hit on it earlier, saying that a lot of folk are chuffed and pleased looking for it.
Yeah, no, I think
it gets interest up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a sense of community, if you will. You know what I mean? Yep. That's what it's based on.
Massively.
We'll get some goss on the club then, right? So we'll start with. You've seen a lot of managers.
I've seen a few. Obviously, not as many as Stevie, but I've been up close and personal with a few.
Is there any managers that you didn't like?
Jim McIntyre.
He was easy not to like.
He was easy not to like. Just should never have got the job. God knows what happened. Got the job, wasn't there long enough. Ignorant, didn't speak. Just walked past you.
So ignorant didn't speak. So like other managers.
Barry Smith, great, absolutely brilliant. Paul Hartley, really nice, grumpy. We used to get shouted at if I took the mascot saying to the goal area, taking penalty kicks, we would get shouted at. But when Paul Hartley's young lad went in there, nobody shouted at his young lad. Just things like that. Best ever manager, if you're going to ask me that, Gary Bowyer. Absolutely, what a guy. High fives, fist pumps, headlocks, jokes.
I liked Gary Bowyer.
Brilliant, absolutely.
What was the story with him going again? He came up when he left.
I think it was maybe a fallout with somebody. Maybe we follow it.
Yeah,
we follow it.
I didn't get involved in any of the background stuff. That's not for me. I do what I do. Whatever goes on in the background happens.
Although he did well to get us up that year, there was always that worry and thought, is he going to manage to do anything here when we got up?
A lot of folks said that, Yeah. But obviously the club had different ideas, and look at it now.
Well, Doherty,
you know what I mean?
Doherty did come in and do
Doc
a good
did.
job that first year.
I
That first year, yeah.
I did like Doherty.
I could put Doc in the same category as a gentleman with Gary Bowyer. Absolutely brilliant.
It was nice to see when he was going around Dens at the weekend. He got a clap.
Aye, he came in and seen us in the media room pre-game and said hi to all the media team. There was 5 of us there. Shakes everybody's hand. How you all doing? So really good guy. Deserved his time. Absolutely deserved his time. But jury's out. Some folk wanted him to stay. Some folk wanted him to go. But look where we are now. We're buzzing. Managers come and go. The fans don't. You know what I mean?
So what's Big Stephen like that?
He's a gentleman. He's nice. He's polite. He's quiet.
I got told he used to be a right hard bastard back in the day.
I mind him being an arrogant bastard for United. And
Doesn't like, he's very soft.
Yeah.
He doesn't like swearing or
Yeah,
anything.
he's
I
very
tell you,
nice.
he's meant to be a bit more casual in the 8 days.
Very-
Somewhere beside Edinburgh and stuff.
Very nice and polite. Says hello. Always happy to smile for a picture. Well, break a smile for a picture. But yeah, no, really nice guy.
Must be mad result. I cannot remember a Dundee manager getting a harder time to start with.
Aye.
Unbelievable.
Aye.
Yeah.
Incredible time.
And it was
I
all,
think it's funny that Open Goal have changed their tune as well.
oh yeah,
What's that?
the personal stuff. They were an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
Total disgrace. The stuff they were
And
coming away with was
they're a fan of
personal.
him now. They're a fan of him now.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, no, like I think you had it like the fans were against them. I had people going on about they were going to boycott the games. I mean, it wasn't the best start.
We've had a hard time in managers. Okay, barring like say your Bowyer and Tony Dock, but yeah, we've had some appointments, and obviously folk thought here we'll go again, merry-go-round. And plus the United connection, ex-United player, and it was like, all right.
I never ever thought of that, and that didn't really bother because it was that long ago. Obviously, like Jim McIntyre coming across. I mean, he was
A lot of people were moaning about the fact he had the manager for 5 years.
That as well, but obviously he was doing things.
He was obviously doing something,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But I seem to remember like there were snippets. Like remember we got the draw at Ibrox, and like people were sort of a bottom a bit of maybe a bit.
Which we should have won.
Yeah.
Should have won.
And then we got the result against Celtic. I remember I was drinking for like
Days.
well, the
game.
goal, yeah.
Although I think the change was the 27th of December, I do think the game that me, you and Declan went to, the St Mirren game when we went to Brewing 71, I think there was real shoots something happening here because we destroyed them that day. And then he got abused. He got abused for that first. St Mirren scored first, and for 5 minutes after it was all the stuff about him to go in, right? 5 minutes later, we're 3-1 up. What are you doing? What are you singing about?
You can't fault the club.
Yeah.
They've backed whatever manager. Doc got money. Bowyer got kind of something. Presley's getting it now. The players that we're bringing in, the calibre that we're bringing in, you've got to commend the club. You get a lot of folks saying get them out. Nelms, Keys, no chance.
No, the thing is though, right?
No
the thing is we John Nelms and Tim Keys, right? When they two came into the club first, I wasn't sure. Really wasn't sure because I mean, let's be honest, it's no easy being a Dundee supporter at times.
We're up shit
and
creek,
we've had
yeah.
ups and downs, we've had administrations, we've had, and this has went on for years and bad running in the club. John and Tim are here for the duration, and they're spending money.
Yes,
and it was always going to take a while. And it seems to always take Dundee a long time to get people in that are going to do a good job. Now, for our supporters to say to get rid of them, who are they expecting to come in and pay the money? Go back to us paying, because none of us have enough money, even as a collective, as the fans. We don't have enough money. And what I see with the two of them is the United guy across the road. He just seems he can't wait to get rid. But John Nelms and Tim Keys have invested. John lives in the city. His son works. I think his son to do with the army.
Yeah.
So they want to be involved with the club. So I don't really see getting.
When you speak to them about designing the stuff.
Yeah,
we've spoken
exactly.
about that before. But yeah, like the heritage of the club, if you will.
Yeah.
People will look back on this and say they're the best thing that happened since that administration. They're probably the best thing that's happened to Dundee.
Yeah.
Whether we've went up and down, but they're still. But even when we go down, they still back us.
Yeah.
And we've had terrible managers, and they've seen we've had terrible managers, and they've got rid of them quick, and they brought somebody else in. But the Presley thing was foisted on them late at the start of the season, so everything was late. He was going on holiday. You can't say to him, no, you can't go on holiday. He goes on holiday. We'll get players in late. Everything's late. Training's late. Everything's late, and it's taken a load of time. If we'd started the way we are now, where could we have been? The top 6, probably, because it took us a long time to get. It took us a long time to get into the flow of things with them.
I'm just enjoying having sitting back and looking like we're going somewhere. You know what I mean?
Listen,
a cup run next year would be that'd be a dream for me.
We thought we would have a cup run this year after beating Killie, but look what happens. You get Celtic in the next round, and if you beat Celtic, you get Rangers.
Yeah.
But look who's
Honestly,
heading to
seconds. We're not even going at that.
Yeah.
We've spoken enough about Dundee. Let's speak about some trainers, because you're a mad New Balance collector.
I am, yes.
And we've also got one of the rarest pair of Adidas centred there as well. We'll get them out last.
So he doesn't like Adidas, so me and you're getting he's going to give us a pair of that, you know.
How did your passion of New Balance start?
Again, just I like being different. I like no going with the crowd or buying the mainstream stuff that was in the shops. So I got my first pair of New Balance 820s. Now we're talking 25 years ago. Maybe roughly about then, and I just thought, right, great. It was one of my pals up in Aberdeen, Paul Johnston. It was him that got me into New Balance. That they were my first pair that I bought, and I thought, right, let's do this again. They were British made. They were made in Britain, and that's what I liked about it. They would have that on the badge. So yeah, so my affection started then. Didn't really start collecting until early mid 2000s.
That's still kind of early, because a lot of people weren't collecting until later on.
I only collect the pairs that you'll not see in the mainstream shops. Like a lot of the pairs are 574s in the shops. New Balance came back, had a massive hit, had a massive burst, but I was quietly still buying them and still wearing them.
They've had a massive increase the past couple of years.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure it was like 2 years ago. They went up 23% or something.
I would never. I can't buy a pair now. No, none of the styles that they've got now. Couldn't buy a pair now. The 576 model, the two on the left, the mod and the punk pack. So New Balance done a collaboration just to kind of. They always like to do things like so that, you know.
A story behind it.
A story behind it, an era behind it. So they brought out the punk pack and the mods.
Was that where the tartan's coming from in the insole?
Yeah, the tartan. Right, okay. Back in the tartan days.
And then obviously the mod one's the next one. I can see a target and the mod in the middle.
Yeah.
You're making these sort of shoes. You like the ideas, like they either work or they don't, eh?
Yeah. I've got some collaborations. Offspring. There's a pair up there, Harris Tweed. So they've done a collaboration with Harris Tweed back in.
That looks like a pair that would go cracking with an aqua scoot scarf or just. Like
yes, I've only worn them a couple of times and folk commented.
Yeah, they look brand new. They look brand spanking new.
Got them from a wee shop called Grieve Sports in Glasgow. $60 back in the day. But yeah,
look at the fur on the inner liner as well, like at the inside of the jacket. That's class.
And obviously the mod colours as well. The flight jackets, Parker jackets. So when they came out, it was a must. But again, you'll not see them in the shop, so they're for collectors to buy. Pay a lot of money for them.
At the limited, with the limited by chance,
limited. The third one's along, the Dalmatian ones. We'll need to hit on them. They were given as a gift to me by a friend. For my 40th a few years ago now. I just said I'd made a point. I pointed them out saying, "Oh, check these are crackers." Then she imported them from New Jersey.
See, if you had been in the rave scene and they'd brought them, you could have wore them, you know.
I know, you'd be at your tree looking at them.
That's that.
I'll never wear them.
It doesn't look like there's anywhere in any of these, apart from which we're going to speak about next, which is the old school gazelles in the middle.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, what year would they be from? I'm thinking early 90s.
I checked, they're from 91.
Right.
When you mentioned earlier on, like the baggy look Manchester, and this is the iconic shoe. Just to snap on, there was a massive resurgence when the Stone Roses came back out, when everybody like claiming loving Addy wearing the tracky tops and that. If you look back at photos of the Stone Roses, right, I've only ever found one photo when Manny's wearing a pair of Campus, and it's about 94 before they split up. Cannot find the Stone Roses kicking about and gazelles, for instance. You will find so many photos of Liam Gallagher and Noel Gallagher kicking about in this, and the whole look that followed that. One of the most iconic shoes, I would say. Yeah, hands down.
Had gazelles when we were at the school, when we were at the Morgan. All the boys would have blue ones, and the red ones. Then obviously your colours started coming out years after. But if you're saying 91, then yeah, I've kept them since then. The soles used to go on them. It used to peel at the back of the soles.
These are in great condition. I could refox this for you. This is called the Fox, and I could redo that. But this is a pigskin, right? And you're not seeing much of the pores. Obviously, for this shoe's called like 30 or what? coming up for 40 years old. But yeah, as like a resto job, there's so much life in this shoe.
Yeah,
like so much life.
Size 7s. But yeah, they were a cracking shoe, and I've just kept them.
Although they were an athletic shoe, when the tenant sixes started the six-a-side football tournament in Scotland, most of the players wore them. That's what they were, as an indoor shoe, a gazelle.
They're just comfy, just cracking trainers. And like you say, in the football days, I had them. Then they got another wee reissue. If you're saying 91, then yeah, that's when I've had them. And
made in China. These are the 90s models. This is a really nice model. You can tell by the toe, because the toe is still quite small. It's not too boxy. Like the further up the year they go, like the boxier the shoe gets, until eventually, like, this is classed as the Mark II Gazelle. Whereas you see a Mark II Gazelle now, it's huge. Yeah. But yeah, that iconic, about as iconic as they get, really. I'm just surprised at how well the colour is on this, to be fair.
They've just always kept them in the back of my cupboard in the dark, never out in the daylight. Like a lot of my other boxes, just keep them in the cupboard.
Do you remember where you got this pair from?
Do you know what? I'm going to take a gamble, and I really am going to say Sports Locker. But
that would make sense.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, the Overgate.
Yeah.
Kev Downey.
Feel like Kev.
Yeah, great lad, Kev. Kev went on to work for New Balance.
Yeah, he worked for New Balance, Converse, Fila. He worked for New Balance.
Like an expedition, like, quite recently. I'm sure I've seen photos of something from him.
He's done a good few things. He's across in.
He's in New Zealand. He married a girl from New Zealand. He's actually, for a wee while, I don't know if he's still doing it, but he was doing he was doing his own beer. He had his own brewery going, so he was doing all that.
I met him once. He came in my shop, and that's how I met him. But I've seen, like, I follow him online, and he was I'm sure it was a New Balance.
Kevin knows.
You know what? Like. Kevin was a really active casual, really active. But other than that, a great guy.
Yeah.
If you met him in the street, you would never know he was involved in that. Yeah. He was just a great guy.
There's loads of people that you would never know that are involved in it. Yeah. A lot of people that I've met across, like, a couple of years were absolutely.
Kev's got the. I think he's got a massive New Balance collection.
That's maybe what I've seen, like the Expedition or something like that. Let's get the Liverpools over.
Yeah.
Let's get the Liverpools over.
Prized possessions.
2007, in Liverpool, Adi opened the store. You were able to queue up, and the first 100 people in that queue got the Trim Tab Liverpool, one of 100. This is at a time well before the Liverbird is on the back of the Trim Tab here. This was, you hadn't seen that. Like, this is the reason behind so many football customs years later. But yeah, like...
And the candy shirt inside.
Oh yeah, when I first started this game, many moons ago now, this probably was the most iconic one to get your hands on, because it was so limited. Right. Like, limited stuff generally wasn't at 1 at 100. It was like 390. Like the Consortium series, or 1 in 500 from, like, size and stuff. A 1 in 100 sign is incredibly hard to come by. Just for reference, so people know there is a 1 in 50, but they don't look like these. They're nowhere near as cool. And yeah, we've got to get the story of how you managed to get your hands on a pair.
Yeah, so again, working at the uni, one of my very good friends at the time, still is a cracking friend now, Ian Hardin, went by the name of Stav, one of the trendiest guys back in the days from the ferry. Probably had a wee share in Valentino's, because he was never out of there buying all the stuff. He got in touch with me just totally out of the blue and said, I've got a pair of trainers for you. His dad worked at the university with me, and he says, I'll get him to pop them in. And I was like, aye, okay. And it was these babies about 15 years ago, and I made a promise to him, because I think he said at the time they were selling for hundreds on eBay.
I know about one of these pairs that sold for over $1,000.
Right.
I know, but that was in the sort of the height of it. Even now, for they would still command a massive price, just because of the rarity of them.
So he just said, promise me one thing, you'll not sell them. And I was like, never. And I've kept them ever since. So they're mine. He's not getting them back.
Might get harassed now when this goes out and people see that you've got them.
Yeah. But yeah, they're crackers. I only wore them once to a Liverpool-Newcastle game, but obviously I was wary. I know, I was very wary, thinking should never put these on.
Can I ask how much you paid? Did you pay for them? Or did you
no, Stav kindly gave us them. I don't know what he paid for them at the time. Can you? I'm
going to guess about 60 or 70 quid. I think it would have been
I would think so.
Right.
It wouldn't have been that much.
Right. But obviously they're tenfold now.
I think I've only ever restored pairs. This is the nicest pair I have seen it in my hands.
Craig Robertson, you'll know Craig.
Yeah.
Robo. He's got a pair.
I restored them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Right. I think I did see the video, thinking, oh, maybe I should bring mine down. But no, these are in fantastic. They're in good condition. Very good condition.
It's just, you know what, it's great to see. Like, I've had so many rare signers in my hands over the years, but like now, not so much. So when you actually get to see something, like, I don't know, like for instance, I don't know when I'll next see a pair of these.
Right.
Last time I seen them, it must have been about 4 or 5 years ago.
We'll do a reunion in 10, 15
years. Do you remember when Trim Trabs came in and if you had a pair of one colour and somebody had a pair, you swapped them and wore different colours?
Trim Trabs were famously a Cockney trainer, apparently. So when they came up in 1975, I had to learn German to understand what it was about. But when did you first see them, or swap them, or when was this a trend?
Sort of maybe 83, 84, kind of that sort of period. I remember Fergie going to be with you. I'm sure you had a daft pair of like two different pairs. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
There's a photo when there's loads of young lads. Like I'm sure Big Steve's there and like Jim King and everyone. They're going to Aberdeen away. I think the Tilly took a photo outside the train station.
Oh no, that was that no semi? No, was it
something like a semi-final or something?
Gilkey's in it. Yeah. Jim King's to the right hand side and young Gilkey's in.
Because there's a couple of boys wearing Trim Trabs and that.
I think Jim King was wearing a pair.
I love that photo because I used to look for photos, especially with Dundee boys. If you can get them wearing Nadie, it was like.
But again, when you looked at your top boys back in the day, you were like, "Oh, is that what he's getting?" I'll try and find them. Then you'd be in your mum's clubby book scouring through, thinking what I could get, for your £2 a week or £2 a month or whatever it was.
Right.
But
there's one other thing that we've not mentioned, which is the Liverpool New Balance there.
Yeah, so that was 2017 when New Balance were doing Liverpool's kit. They done 3 trainers. They done the red for the home strip. They done the white for the away strip. And for the third kit, which I never bought, I've got the home and away. I never bought the third kit. It was black with touches of tangerine on it.
Nah, you never.
No. So I was down in London just for a weekend with my wife. Walked past New Balance and there they were, and it was like, yeah, I'll have them. They tried to talk me into.
You should have the Holland ones as well.
They tried to talk me into getting all 3, but nah, the red and whites were enough.
Did you never go for? I bought them. I queued up and done it size. Did you not get the green Liverpool one, Adidas, that came out a few years ago, limited edition one? You had them in the shop.
Sorry, the 2020 ones.
Yes. Yeah, I got them.
Taken from I can't remember. It was something. The green and yellow was something to do with a hall in Liverpool. Something to do with some room.
Yeah.
I forget that.
I'm just an Adidas fan.
Yeah, I know, but you've got them. So the Liverpool ones. I thought you were went for them.
They're really team associated.
No. Something to do with the city. Yeah.
Before we round it up, I'm going to quiz you about some of your favourite brands over the years.
Okay.
Because we did, like we said, you've seen a lot of stuff. What would you say your favourite brand of all time is?
Lacoste.
Lacoste.
Never go out, never went away. It's always been there from day one, since we knew about it. For the lesser people that couldn't afford Lacoste, it was Le Shark.
Yeah, Le Shark. Yeah.
But yeah, Lacoste is the main brand.
Le Shark was Duff.
Mother favourite at the time, Benetton.
Oh, what's really funny? I was looking the other night. I've done no that in ages because I was sitting looking the other night and I remembered I need to find a made in Italy label.
Right.
I couldn't remember what it looked like.
There was a Benetton shop in Dundee and there was one in Broughty Ferry for a while as well.
Yeah. So
the rugby shirt, I had one but I sold it. The proper 80s rugby shirts, the cotton ones, are unbelievable. They've got like a felt collar as well. It's just totally different.
Benetton made cracking stuff, and again on the Saturday terraces on a Saturday sunny afternoon, the amount of colours you would see between Lacoste, between Benetton.
The polo shirts are great, just with the little Benetton sign on
tiny
them.
Little sign.
And as you say, the rugby shirts and some of the jeans were good that they made. They did some cracking stuff, absolutely. But they did some strange stuff that you wouldn't have went near. But I mean,
then they disappeared for a while, and you just thought that was the end of Benetton. Then when
still going in Europe.
Then when folk were going on holidays, it was like, oh, there's a Benetton shop. Oh right, is there? Then before you knew it, came back and now it's booming. There's shops all over, and Benetton's back in. It's back in London, big massive stores. So Lacoste Benetton stuck out for me. Obviously Stone Island did stick out, but until obviously the fakes came on the scene, you would be reluctant to wear something like that. Levi's 501s were the jeans.
One of the most requested jeans I got was the 501s.
501s. I've probably still got a couple of pairs. But yeah, just
Pepe jeans,
Pepe keyrings. But yeah, Lacoste Benetton stick out. Plenty other clothes.
Lacoste was the first brand I fell in love with. Yeah, like, probably fell in love with it. Yeah,
just.
So this day we spent all last summer trying to get as many Naked Ghouls as we possibly could find on the internet because people were just screaming out for them. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I always remember. Do you remember the Lacoste? Was it a sit-in?
There was a car. I'm sure.
Phil had a car as well.
No, but I'm sure Murray Lyle Badger. I'm sure he had something. He had a wee Peugeot or something.
Peugeot. You're right.
Peugeot. It was a Peugeot.
I can't remember what the field one was either. I had the badge on it as well.
Had a Lacoste badge at the side and stuff. A wee tiny one.
I've got Badger's name. I think Badger had something to do with that. I can't mind. But yeah. But
no, it was just a Lacoste sticker.
Yeah. But so many clothes, even best company. So many clothes. Manifesto obviously brought in the best of gear. There was so much to choose from.
Dundee was really lucky with Manifesto.
It was
all these sort of side brands with Duffer and all that. Duffer was quite good.
Duffer St George, yeah.
And then Retour, Replay.
I've got some Retour, Replay stuff still now. Still in the
Diesel. But that I'm talking at the start. The stuff that you were buying at the catalogues. You know what I mean? The stuff that was coming in that nobody had seen before.
And the most expensive, obviously, Burberry. You were very, very lucky if you managed to get an item of Burberry back in the football days.
Yeah, Burberry. I remember how massive it was in the 90s, and then you couldn't give it away early 2000s because of the shift. But nowadays, like it's totally shifted.
Was it not Daniela Westbrook that made a right airso when she wore the full Burberry gear?
Well, Brad as well and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember one instance for like a Christmas, my mum got me a Burberry reversible, and I was fucking gutted. I was gutted. I wish I still had that.
I love my cap of football strips with Vicky Pollard with that pink trackie she used to wear with pink kappa.
Thomas Burberry came out for a while as well, not the full, obviously.
I remember a lot of people wearing Thomas Burberry back then.
Yeah.
YSL as well. I remember YSL was quite big back
Aquascutum as well went through its phases. An absolute classic brand until again it got into the wrong scene.
Whoever's got a hold of it now, they're putting out so much crap. But if you get an old, nice vintage piece,
because the kids are buying it, the younger ones are buying it. But back in the days,
Dax as well. You don't really hear people talking about Dax nowadays. That's like a sort of like not a tartan, but a check that's like sort of forgot about. That's maybe due a resurgence. But yeah, we'll end on that. Again, Sean, thanks for coming through and redoing this.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
We got as good as one as we did last week. So.
Definitely.
Thank you.
So yeah, Steve, thanks for doing it as always, mate.
No worries.
And Sean, I'll quiz you again, no doubt.
Excellent. Thanks for having us.
Till next time. This has been the Dundee Show podcast. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.